beautiful beings, and welcome to my sacred space. My name is Raven, and thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you clicking on this video and joining me as we delve into the mysterious world of Glowwood. Full disclosure, this deck was actually sent to me by Glowwood's team, so thank you so much for trusting me with this deck and creating this review. I think this is my first ever peer package, so thank you. Be that as it may, you know that I do give full, honest opinions here on my channel, so you can still expect that despite the fact that, this deck was actually gifted to me. Okay, moving on. This deck actually took a long time to get to me. We had some issues with shipping, took a long time, maybe a month, and I really wanted to give this review earlier or sooner. However, I recently lost someone who's very, very important to me, and I wasn't in the right mind space, and I feel like this deck actually deserves my full attention, and me being in the right mindset to actually create this review or film this review. So I did take my time, but I'm here now and I'm so excited to get to it. All right, so packaging is quite big. Well, I don't know how to describe it. It's chunky, which is it's a good thing. If you're gonna keep your deck in like your bookshelf, it's more of like a collector's item, so it's very, very pretty to look at. So let's read the back side. In the back it says, Glowwood is an oracle deck rooted in ecology. It features 78 beings from the forest, plants, insects, fungi, lichens, minerals, enmeshed in webs of real dynamic relationships. They are here to teach us how to read the landscape, its wild patterns and knots, its tendencies, its way of being. This glowing forest is a reflection of ourselves. Grasping its cycles, we learn about life cycles. Grasping its design, we learn about life's design. It lends us the tools and knowledge we need to peel back the veil of the ordinary and find the shining threads of universal truths. Matter flows, the wild teaches. Such is the magic of nature. Oh, I like that. It's just sad that I used my crystal to prop this with, and there are scratches. But anyway, we'll peel back the plastic later. I really like what it says here on the back. It kind of reminds me of Angel Metatron and Sacred Geometry. How, I don't know if it's called the Fibonacci sequence, but all of that, I feel like it's somewhat entangled into the grand design. Do you know what I mean? Like, it might seem, at least is what I'm getting from this, from reading this short paragraph, how things in nature, they're not created by coincidence. Everything has a purpose, and all of these lines that we see and this, designs that we see, these are actually mathematical calculations. I'm getting a little bit way ahead of myself, but somehow that's what it felt like when I read that. So in this, let's go back. In this box, you will find 78 Glowwood cards, the 276-page Glowwood companion book, a black cloth to protect and carry your cards. Okay, so this is printed by Emergent Plant Life. And what else do we have here? Nothing. All right, so we are going to open this up. Ooh, okay. So I actually went on the website and I wanted to know more about the creator. So it says here, Lisa Beletska is a Ukrainian-American artist working with text and image, and she is the one who created this deck. It's her brainchild. Let's open it up. Alright, it's a thick deck, so it's quite difficult to read. Ooh, nice. Okay, let's have a look. So this is the canvas bag. It's black. I like black. The white print on it, it's so nice. I don't know what plant that is, but we'll see. Wow, I like that. We'll see if we can find out more. I like this bag. Appreciate it. Put it there. And this is the guide. Ooh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, wow, man. That's insane. This is a thick guidebook. Wow. Okay. You know what? This reminds me, I saw a person. Can you see? Immediately. This reminds me of those, what do you call that? The coffee table books. I feel like it's like that. With its appearance, the shape, the size, Nice. Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention, gosh, if you were just here to appreciate the images of the deck, we will look at it later. I will put a timestamp in the description box below so you can just jump through that part. Otherwise, we are really gonna talk about this deck in full. All right. Okay. So, while I do like it, I just have to say that the cover it's soft. It's not your typical coffee table book cover, which is thicker. It's not hardbound. Um, but other than that, I think it's pretty good. The paper itself for the pages are quite substantial. It's quite thick. So it says the Glowwood Companion, written and illustrated by Lisa Beletska. I think it's quite strange that her name is not on the box. I mean, I would have appreciated it if it was there. I mean, if just give credit to the actual decorator. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I'm just missing out. It's not really here. Nowhere around the box. But anyway, moving on. The word for world is forest. Okay. So this deck was created in 2021. Okay, so you have the table of contents here. This is a thick book. Oh my god. Dear human of Glowwood, I'm so thankful to be able to share my love of the natural world with you. For so long, the woods have been a source of knowledge, inspiration, and companionship for me. I've always tried to reciprocate by paying attention and paying tribute. This is how Glowwood came to be, through attention. Nice. So you have like her foreword. I love that. Peace, vines, and pillow litions. And then philosophy. Ooh, nice. Witchcraft can be seen as a religion of ecology. Its goal is harmony with nature so that life may not just survive but thrive. Starhawk. I like that there are quotes here. What's in a Glowwood card? This is fancy. I love that it's here. Because this is kind of like a map. Alright, so here it says this is the central element of the card. Categories of beings are covered on page 197. Medicine. The border contains symbolism for quick interpretation. Wow, okay, cool. Nourisher. Host. Parts of the border are purely decorative. Nice. Card descriptions are on page 63. Okay, that's really nice and kind that she put that there. Reading with a Glowwood. It's just sad that I don't have like a forest or a patch of nature close to me, as I live in a very urbanized city. So it's kind of like refreshing that I have this deck to learn more about that world. I feel like Ariel. Okay, so here's how to conduct the most basic reading with Glowwood. Hold the deck, read it, acknowledge it. So basically, these are like your instructions on how to start reading with this deck. Okay. Oh wow, like full detail. Find and read the provided card descriptions and the card descriptions. Okay, and then she's also referencing the index. And then look at the categories. Alright, look at the symbols. Look at the timelines. And then look at the associations. Nice. And of course, yeah, at the end of your reading, thank the beings that showed up today. That's nice. Okay, so here you have spreads. Alright, this is not your typical guidebook, I say. Usually, if once you get the part wherein they provide the spreads, it's just like, the title of the spread, how many cards, yada yada yada. But here it's very detailed. Okay, so you have the seeds. Okay, wow, it's very detailed now. What is being prepared that will sprout? What feeds and protects the endeavor? Okay, very cool. Endosperm, seed coat. Wow, this is highly technical. I'm quite daunted to even, start learning this. I do not have a lot of plant themed decks. I'm not a biophilic, but I do appreciate people who are. I am up for learning new things, always learning new things. So, this is a challenge for me to really get into this deck and read all of the instructions and learn how this deck is supposed to really be used. That's very interesting. I do not have a lot of plant theme decks, to be honest. All I have are the flower ones, and those are all by Sherilyn Darcy. I actually had a look at my library here, and yeah, I this is really maybe the only one that's about plants in the forest. So it's very interesting. Okay. Oh my gosh. Wow. It's a lot of information, guys. Like, I'm not kidding. When the cards feel ready, stop shuffling. Yeah, you have to use your intuition, of course. And she actually explains each or like puts in like the full instructions. Like all of the pages would say greet and connect with your cards as well. And then we have the network, the large network. Oh wow, that's a lot of spreads, you guys. The year, northern hemisphere, southern hemisphere, and then we have the months. Okay. And then forest gardening, planting. Planting is a great spread to do as part of new. Oh my god, we're still doing spreads. Okay, this is really fancy. I like it. It's so different, and it's double different for me because, like I said, I'm not very adept when it comes to plants. So, very interesting. I feel like I'm holding a textbook for school, and yeah, learning new things. It's different. I like it. Okay, so we have the alder. We have the Latin name, the type, symbols. Okay, associations. Maybe that's how it looks like. Magnus. Okay, so that, yeah, I guess some of them have illustrations. And then you have the descriptions. And wow, you also have keywords. That's a lot of information, you guys. Hang on, let's see how many pages. Like, so each of the cards would have like full one, two, at least 2 pages. Okay, and then we have categories. Okay, so we move on to the categories. We're already at page 197, you guys. Okay, we have soils. While the following generalizations do not cover every particular case, they will go a long way towards understanding Glowwood beings. You need not memorize this information. It's always here to refer to as your relationship with Glowwood deepens. See how these insights allow you to more easily infer new conclusions about individual beings and about the special relationships between beings in a spread. Okay. Lesions. Okay. Fungi. Oh my gosh, Magnus, don't jump on the table. um, a note on water, and then plants. Plants. Okay, flowers include grasses, mosses, and liverworts. No, Magnus, don't do it. Oh my gosh. Seriously? Okay, please don't mind the little bugger here. What do you want to do? You can't. What? Please, seriously, don't go there. This little guy, sorry, just a side note, this little guy actually went to the vet today, right? You went to the vet. Uh huh. We are gonna show the paw. This guy. Look. Magnus. Magnus, stop it. Okay, you wanna lie down there? Alright, so I'm so sorry about the short intermission. He decided to stay on the table. He looks like my table furry thing, so I'm just gonna keep him there until he gets bored and decides to jump down. Oh, and cool. We're on the page about animals, and we have one right here. Okay, thank you so much for doing that right when I started filming again, and his tail is really just all over. I am so sorry. Where were we? Animals, okay. Animals are notable for their mobility. They are constantly moving to change their circumstances, searching for more favorable conditions. Precisely like what happened earlier when Magnus jumped on the table and he thought it was a favorable condition for him. I don't know why. Maybe he desires to ruin this this review, or maybe he just wanted some comfort because maybe his ivy boo boo still hurts. But alright, so moving on. Protista. Ooh, okay. Geez, like these are so foreign to me that I feel like I have a lot of learning to do. So we have accommodating, drought resistance, early, exploitative, pressure, post burn, rare, regenerative, shade, shallow, strength, storage, support. Um, and then, ooh, okay, so what's this page? And then we have the timelines. Okay, so I'm not sure. I wouldn't really call this a beginner deck just because I feel like it's super technical or in depth. Um, if you're a biophilic, I feel like this will totally blow your mind because of the knowledge, the amount of information that it has will definitely appeal to you. But for someone who's like me, who's not very much into, you know, this side of the world, like the plants and all of that, I'm not really knowledgeable in all of this. It is quite, I don't know, maybe TMI for me. But the good thing is, this book is here in order for you to navigate your way through the deck. You know what I mean? And I am a person who really is very much into introducing myself to foreign things just because I feel like knowledge is such a beautiful thing. I'm not just saying that, you know, I'm learning German even. So I just like challenging myself more. And it's a good way for me to exercise my brain, to learn new things. Like, yeah. So, gosh, I feel like it's going to take me a long time. You are now an expert at ecological succession. I don't think so. Maybe when I learn more about this. That is it, folks. You've made it to the end of the Glowwood Companion. I'm wishing you all my best in the journey with these cards. Okay, with this deck, do you have any questions? Okay, so that's just a part wherein you can contact the creator, and then you have the index. Wow, symbol index. Oh, okay, so we also have a symbol index. And then voila, that is it. That's a very thick guidebook. Jesus, like how many pages? 275 pages, you guys. 275 pages. This is like a textbook. So a lot of information really is inside this guidebook. And I think that, ooh, oh wow, wait, hang on. I didn't know this is it's edged in black. I love it. Oh wow. I like the backing. Somehow I didn't know that it's gonna look like this, even though I saw it on the on here. Um, hang on, just remove this paper. Oops. Okay. Oh wow, so this is pretty good cardstock. It is thick. I checked the website and it says it is 400 GSM and it is scratch proof. And as you can see, I'm scratching it already. Like you can't see any of my scratch marks. So that's really good. This deck will last you a long time. Let me change the lighting here so you can see more clearly. Nice. I like it. I like the cardstock. It is very thick. Very thick. So this is a lot thicker than your usual independent deck cards. They're just, you know, around 350. This one is 400. It is matte. I love the monochromatic look. How it's like stencils of roots and whatnot. I love that it's black. It's very elegant. And it's actually very appealing. Do you know what I mean? Like at the back, it's very colorful and a lot of information going on. But in the back, it's just like a plain canvas. Do you know what I mean? Like, gosh, I have crystals. My crystal broke when my, when the guidebook or when the whole box actually fell onto it. So poor celestite. Be careful of your celestite, you guys. I'm sorry, that's my ADHD flaring up. Okay, so let's see. Oh, okay, so even the celestite that went through this, it didn't scratch it. Can you see? Because that happened with my I'm not sure if it's the Starseeker deck or the Akashic. I think it's the Akashic, and one has like a tiny scratch, and I felt so bad about it. But okay, one deck that I would say that reminds me of the look is the Flowers of the Night Oracle by Sherilyn Darcy, which is actually really cool because this is also a plant-based deck. Plant-themed deck. Jeez, I keep saying plant-based. It's not like we're talking about food here. Anyway, alright, I digress. So the size is your typical tarot deck size. Let me pull up my Aunt Lily's Tarot just to show you. Okay, so it is the same size. Okay, most oracle decks have a different measurement. Let me just pull up a Hay House deck here. We have Signs of the Times. So yeah, I think since I do have a lot of Hay House and Rockpool decks, I would say that this is your typical size for an oracle deck. You know, depends on what you use often, but this is for me. I love that they're same theme, same color. Oh, okay. Well, against this one, this somewhat appears a little bit dark bluish. Maybe that's just me with the lighting, but yeah, that is how big it is compared to a Hay House deck. Let's see. Hang on. Okay, this is quite thick, you guys. So I know for a fact that I won't be able to shuffle this. Wow, oh my gosh, hang on. This is so different. For some reason, I feel like I'm looking at hieroglyphics just because of these like lines and the drawings. I really thought they were hieroglyphics at first glance. Okay, very interesting. Wow, oh, I like that. The snail. Okay, you know what? I'm not gonna waste your time and, you know, give you my musings while looking at the cards. I'm actually gonna zoom in so we can go ahead and have a look at the images together. I'm gonna put on some music. I'm gonna start to flip through now. right, there you have it. That is the full flip through of the Glowwood Oracle deck. What do you guys think? I am left here in wonder of the images that I just had a look at. It is so foreign and so strange for me, but I'm pretty sure like this really does, you know, make a lot of sense for other people. Most people, I would have to say, you know, have spent a lot of time in the forest or in the woods, right? But quite honestly, I'm gonna accept my ignorance here. I think I am just familiar with about just 10% of the organisms that I saw in this deck. So I am gonna take a long time learning this one because or to even start using it. Although, everything is detailed. I mean, the guidebook is actually very, very, very good in providing a lot of information that you would need if you want to start using this deck. It's just that I'm just basing off of the fact that I am really not that familiar with the woods. So this is so different for me, but I do like it because it really does give that earthy energy. Do you know what I mean? Like having a look at this is quite also relaxing for me because even though these are not actual images of the plants and whatnot, I feel like it gives off that vibe that I'm being pulled, I'm being grounded, right? Being called back down to earth. And I feel like the vivid colors, it's I would say it's a masterful blend of like the colors, the dark background. I really like how the all black background is allows the actual subject of the card to shine, like it's taking center stage. Do you know what I mean? Also, even though there are, is it the same? No, these borders, even though they are there, it doesn't take away from the beauty of the deck, right? In fact, it adds a lot more. Like in the guidebook earlier, we saw that there are additional symbolisms in each of the cards, and I was pointing them out one by one because I'm not sure if I'm looking at a symbolism or an actual just aesthetic design of the border, but I guess they stand out more. As you can see here, like this one would be, yeah, those are just designs, like additional vectors that the artist added, and these are really symbols, and it is just so interesting for me. I feel like the artist, her craftsmanship, like really, Lisa, it shines through. I think I would want to say, other than her craftsmanship, I think I would say her passion. Because this deck is so niche, it's so targeted, right? It talks about the organisms living in the woods and how it is connected to us and how it can guide us, how they have their own experiences, and how we can um, invite them whenever we do our readings, like their spirits, their energy, and that we can learn from them. And I feel like her coming up with these designs and this actual concept speaks of her passion and how she really loves this, like what she does. I mean, the additional information that she added in each of the cards like really speaks volume that she really knows what she's doing, and props to her for creating a wonderful, wonderful deck, in the sense that its design is, it's striking, it's different, and at the same time it's so knowledgeable, man. Like I feel like it's, once you unlock the meanings of the cards and you master how to use it, it's like, it's just, wisdom is just gonna flow in. And to be honest, it's gonna take me a long time to get there, but I really do appreciate the amount of effort, the time that she allotted to create the enchanting images that I'm looking at right now. It's really captivating. Like this is so enigmatic for me, I just have to say that. But like it's jam packed with symbolisms. I would often say like I love how decks have symbolisms in them and all of that. The artist didn't really incorporate the symbolisms inside of the image. It's all around here in the background, which you know where's Wally or where's Waldo. Sometimes I feel like I'm doing that when I'm doing a reading, which is, there are pros and cons to that. Like if I'm doing a reading and there are so many things going on in the cards, like those decks created by Angela Hartfield, I feel like um, what I like about cards that have additional symbolisms hidden in them is that, my intuition is kind of like led to that actual symbolism that makes sense in my reading. Whereas this one, she made it a lot easier. These are all here on the sides, so that it's easier for you to spot. And at the same time, it doesn't give her a hard time trying to incorporate these additional symbolisms in the actual image. It's just there in the border, which is really, really cool as well. More than anything, I feel like it will allow the reader to really dig deep and explore and find how these cards really connect to them, right? To really focus and understand how these symbolisms mean to you in your personal journey, if I'm making sense. I feel like this deck would be a perfect deck for self reflection because it will really pull you and make you look at the cards and understand the meaning and, hey, what are you trying to say to me? What are you trying to convey? Like, you really need to take some time to go and focus on the cards. And I think that's really cool. What else do I want to say? One thing that I noticed also is that, the cardstock, it's amazing. It's really durable. Like, I think, for most cards, like, longevity is really, really important. I wouldn't recommend you to really, like, fully bend this because it might not bend back. Do you know what I mean? Because it's so thick. It's more of like a board. Like, if you prop it up like that, or maybe prop two together like this, I feel like it's gonna stand. Let's try. I'm doing like an experiment here, but let's see. See? But really, I like that the cardstock that they use is really good. It's gonna last a long time, which is good. Which is good because I feel like it's really gonna take me a long time to learn this deck. I'm not deterring any one of you from purchasing this deck and learning more. I just feel like it's going to be a work in progress for me, just because I do have a very time-consuming job. Okay, so I'm so scared to shuffle it because I feel like I'm gonna ruin it. I'm not sure if this is the type of deck that you would shuffle like that, just because it's so thick. But if you do have like strong hands and big hands, you might want to. It shuffles beautifully, really wonderfully. But I'm gonna stick to shuffling it this way just because I feel okay. That is fantastic. Cardstock is really amazing. I would have to say that it's very light on the hands, even though it's heavy. It doesn't feel like, how do I say it? It's not super heavy despite the thickness of the cards. It feels good to the touch. It feels good shuffling it, and I kind of like hit it. But you can see 0. Oh, there. I hit it, and this is a problem for me because I shuffle that way. So most often than not, I would hit my cards. You can see it, right? There, this tiny one. But that's just super minor compared to what happens with my cards whenever I shuffle like this. So even though I kind of like hit it pretty hard, like as I was saying earlier, longevity, very good. Another thing that I would want to point out is that I feel, what do you call that? Because some of the images here are so abstract that I feel like, oh my gosh, like what am I looking at? What do you call that? The ink thingy, wherein they, please leave it in the comments. I really forgot what it's called. Like the ink blots, and then like the therapist or the psychologist will, they will ask you, hey, what do you see in this image? And then depending on your answer, they will know more about how your psyche works. I feel like somewhat I am reminded of that just because of the images. What else? I'm going through the cards again. I really feel like I want to give like a full idea of this deck. So I'm going to be very, very straight with you guys. This deck is lovely. It's magnificent. The production quality is amazing. The cardstock is like the thickest that I own. It is very good. It shuffles well. I love the matte edging. I love the idea, the concept of this deck, and how earlier I said how passionately this deck is made by Lisa. Um, I feel though that it will take a lot of learning to do when you purchase this deck, but ultimately that is a good thing because I am for knowledge. I am for learning and growing, and I feel like as human beings, like really if we stay in our comfort zone, then mushrooms are just gonna grow on us. So even though this is completely out of my league, man, like this is really out of my comfort zone, I'm gonna give it a chance to use this deck and learn it and see how I will relate to it, just because I really am for learning new things. And yeah, it is daunting. I'm not gonna lie, but I feel like it is going to be very worth it. This deck is actually very, very strange, you guys, because you know me, I'm not very into abstract decks, right? Except for the ones made by Rasuli. This one is very enigmatic in a sense that it's also magnetic. Like normally, this is kind of, I'm like looking at eyes. Normally, you would shy away from decks that are difficult to understand or learn, or like like I said before, I don't like abstract decks because I feel like I won't be able to connect to them. However, this one has a magnetic pull. I feel like the energy is kind of like beckoning me to, hey, learn more. But I really do like it. I feel this deck will appeal most to people who are very in tune with nature. Stop for a while to have a look at the website and just to give more information for all of you who are interested in purchasing this deck. And it says here, expect a flexible interpretation system suitable for divination as a psychological tool, for storytelling, for conversation, and for creative inspiration. And remember what I said about the ink blot thing? I think that's so cool that it connected the psychological aspect of it. I feel like it's deeply embedded in this deck. When I look at this specific card, I feel like I'm so minuscule. Do you know what I mean? I'm not sure how big a snake fly is, but I'm betting that it's not like as massive as a cat. So the energy or the vibe that I'm feeling is it feels like I am grounded, legit, like pulled down to the earth to understand more this different world that I am so unfamiliar with. And somehow, even though I am not knowledgeable about it, I feel like somehow I am connected to it because in truth, I am, because I am part of this world. And yeah, it definitely draws you in, man. This is so strange, but I feel like this deck has the most grounding energy. I feel like, I am sitting with my legs crossed here and I feel like I haven't moved, and like Indian sit, and I like the yogi way of sitting, and I feel like I haven't moved or even like shifted my feet um from the start of from the time I started filming up to now, and I feel like it has that effect on you. All right, final thoughts. What do I think about this deck? I think this deck is magnificent. It is completely different, and despite that fact, I am so keen to know more, right? I said earlier it is enigmatic but at the same time magnetic, so I think that is really cool. I love the imagery and the artistry. I feel like the artist's passion is really, you know, being exuded by the cards. Like the fact that she knows all of these and she created this whole system of divination is mind blowing. And not only that, I feel like the biggest asset of this deck is the companion guidebook. This is legit a book. I feel um like this could pass as like your science textbook, and I'm not saying that in a negative way. I'm saying it in awe really of the amount of effort and knowledge that Lisa has about this topic is just astounding. And for her to share it to the rest of us by creating this wonderful deep deck is just really amazing. you know um this is truly a wonderful addition to my collection. It's gonna push me to learn more and, you know, appreciate also this whole new world that I'm totally unfamiliar with. Um, do I think this is good for beginners? Um, I wouldn't really recommend this for beginners just because I feel, well, you know what? Maybe that's just me. Like I said, it's my ignorance. I'm not really that connected to the woods and like this whole world. But if you are and you are a beginner in terms of like divination and, you know, reading tarot or reading oracle cards, then, you know, this will be very good for you because you already have that knowledge. Whereas for people like me, like lay people who do not know anything about this world, I wouldn't really recommend it for beginners just because I feel like it's expert level, like master boss level. You know what I mean? But if you're keen to learn and if you're, you know, if you are the type who would like to expand your knowledge, then this deck is going to be fantastic because the guidebook itself is just a wealth of information. And really, I'm so excited to find the time to use this deck um, and learn more. So there you go. I think this is quite a lengthy review. I really wanted to put in a lot of time and effort in giving you this review because it's very different and it's very interesting at the same time. So let me know what you guys think. Do you have this deck in your collection? Are you gonna get it? I'm gonna put the links in the description box below. I'm not affiliated with them whatsoever, so go ahead and click if you want to purchase. I won't I won't earn anything from it, but truly grateful to the Glowwood team for opening me up to this entirely different universe out there of all of these organisms that I don't even know exist, and I'm grateful for the knowledge. There you go. If you feel like this video is interesting to you or if it helped you in some way, give me a like or leave a comment. I do appreciate you being here, and thank you so much. Have a beautiful, beautiful day.